What if I told you that the first 30 minutes of your day could decide the direction of your entire life? That the way you begin each morning determines whether you walk in peace or in chaos, in strength or in weakness, in clarity or in confusion. Too many people start their day rushing or scrolling without realizing they are programming their mind and spirit for the rest of the day. But when you choose to begin with devotion, quiet time with God, reflection, and surrender, something shifts. Your morning sets the atmosphere for victory, and your devotion becomes the fuel that changes your entire life. That's why this message is vital for you to hear completely. Because once you learn the power of morning devotion, you will never start your day the same way again. The power of beginning your day with God cannot be overstated. The very first moments of your morning carry more weight than most people realize. How you start often determines how you finish. If you begin your day in a rush, overwhelmed, or distracted, that tone follows you throughout the hours ahead. But if you start with God through prayer, meditation, and reflection, you are setting the foundation for peace, clarity, and strength that will guide you no matter what challenges come. The morning is not just the opening of a day. It is the opening of opportunity, and the way you choose to use it can shape your entire life. When you begin with God, you align your spirit before the noise of the world tries to take over. Most people wake up and immediately flood their minds with messages from their phone, social media, emails, or news. They allow the outside world to dictate their emotions before they even get out of bed. But when you take those first moments and give them to God, you are declaring that your life is guided by something higher than headlines or notifications. You anchor yourself in truth before fear, doubt, or stress has a chance to steal your peace. That single choice places you in control of your day instead of letting circumstances control you. The first moments of the day are also when your mind is most open and receptive. Psychologists call it the theta state, a condition where your brain is more impressionable and your thoughts are more powerful. Whatever you fill your mind with at that time sets the tone for the hours to follow. If you choose worry, you carry worry. If you choose gratitude, you carry gratitude. By beginning with God, you fill your mind with faith, hope, and peace. You plant seeds in the morning that grow throughout the day. Even when challenges arise, the foundation you laid in those first moments strengthens you to respond with calmness rather than panic. Beginning your day with God also gives direction. Without it, many people wander through their day aimlessly, letting circumstances push them around. But starting with prayer brings focus. It reminds you of your purpose, clarifies your priorities, and brings guidance for decisions. You begin to see clearly what matters most and where your energy should go. This clarity prevents you from wasting time on distractions and empowers you to walk in alignment with your goals and values. Instead of living on autopilot, you live with intentionality. Another gift of starting with God is strength. Every day has battles, pressures, setbacks, unexpected challenges. If you wait until you are in the middle of them to seek peace, you may already be too overwhelmed. But when you prepare in the morning, you enter the day already equipped. It's like putting on armor before stepping onto the battlefield. Prayer fills you with resilience, meditation fills you with calm, and devotion fills you with courage. When others around you break under stress, you stand firm because your strength was secured before the fight began. Over time, beginning your day with God builds a lifestyle of consistency. Transformation does not come from grand gestures done once. It comes from small disciplines repeated daily. When you commit to giving God the first moment of every day, you are building a habit that slowly reshapes your mind, strengthens your character, and deepens your faith. It may not feel dramatic in the beginning, but the impact compounds. Soon, you realize you are more peaceful, more focused, and more grounded because your life has been built on a steady foundation. Ultimately, the power of beginning your day with God is that it turns ordinary mornings into extraordinary opportunities. Each sunrise becomes a fresh start, a reset, and a chance to walk closer to your purpose. You are no longer a victim of stress or circumstance. You become a person of alignment, strength, and clarity. The world may throw chaos at you, but your day was already claimed in peace before it began. So if you want your life to change, start with your mornings. Before you rush, pause. Before you scroll, pray. Before you let the world in, let God in. Because the first moments of your day are not just minutes, they are seeds. And when you choose to plant those seeds in God's presence, the harvest will be peace, direction, and transformation that will follow you not just through the day, but through your life. Renewing the mind each morning is one of the most powerful practices you can adopt if you want to live with peace, clarity, and strength. Each day comes with its own set of challenges, responsibilities, and pressures. If you carry the weight of yesterday into today, you start the day already drained, already heavy, already distracted. Morning devotion is the reset button. It is the moment where you clear away fear, stress, and negativity before the world has a chance to bury you under them again. By choosing to begin each day in the presence of God, you cleanse your mind, refresh your spirit, and prepare yourself to face the day with renewed strength. Life is demanding and it constantly pours negativity into us. Whether it's the stress of unfinished tasks, the weight of personal struggles, or the anxiety about the future, the mind is easily overwhelmed. Left unchecked, those thoughts follow us into each new day, building layer upon layer until we feel stuck in cycles of worry and exhaustion. That is why morning devotion is so essential. It stops the cycle. It gives you the opportunity to release what no longer serves you, to let go of yesterday's burdens, and to start with a clean slate. When you begin your day in devotion, you create space for peace. Instead of rushing immediately into your responsibilities or being consumed by the noise of social media and the news, you pause, you breathe, you reflect, you shift your focus from fear to faith, from anxiety to gratitude, from chaos to calm. That shift transforms how you carry yourself throughout the day. Fear no longer dictates your decisions. Stress no longer steals your energy. Negativity no longer clouds your vision. Instead, your mind is anchored in peace and your spirit is grounded in truth. Renewing the mind also strengthens resilience. Life is unpredictable. You cannot control everything that happens around you, but you can control how you prepare yourself for it. Morning devotion is like putting on spiritual armor before walking into battle. It shields you from the weight of negativity and equips you to respond with wisdom rather than reaction. When others are overwhelmed by challenges, you remain steady because you took the time to renew your mind before the storm came. This daily renewal is also a reminder of identity. Stress and fear distort the way we see ourselves. Negativity tells us we are not enough, that we are unworthy, or that we are defined by our failures. But devotion realigns your perspective. It reminds you that you are more than your circumstances, more than your struggles, more than your fears. In the quiet of morning prayer and reflection, you hear a voice that speaks truth over your life, that you are capable, that you are chosen, that you are loved. That identity empowers you to walk through the day with confidence. Morning devotion is also about discipline. Renewal does not come from a single act. It comes from consistency. Each morning you return, You are training your mind to let go of negativity and embrace peace. Over time, this practice reshapes the way you think. You no longer wake up burdened, you wake up expectant. You no longer start with stress, you start with strength. That discipline creates momentum, and momentum leads to transformation. Another reward of renewing the mind each morning is clarity. When your mind is clouded with fear and stress, decision-making becomes difficult. You overthink, second guess, or freeze in uncertainty. But when you begin the day with a cleansed mind, you see more clearly. You know what matters and what doesn't. You are able to focus on priorities instead of being pulled in every direction. Clarity saves time, energy, and heart touch. Most importantly, morning renewal transforms how you experience life. Instead of being weighed down by constant stress, you carry peace with you. Instead of reacting to fear, you respond with faith. Instead of being consumed by negativity, you become a source of light for others. Renewal changes not just your mornings, but your relationships, your work, and your future. So do not start your day carrying yesterday's weight. Begin with devotion. Take those first few moments to breathe, to pray, to release, and to renew. Cleanse your mind from fear. Wash away the stress. Silence the negativity. Let your spirit be refreshed in the presence of God. Because when you renew your mind each morning, you do more than prepare for the day. You prepare for life. And with each new morning, you step closer to the person you were created to be. This strong, clear, peaceful, and transformed. Strength for daily battles is not something you stumble upon in the middle of the storm. It is something you prepare for before the storm arrives. Every day carries its own set of challenges. Some are small inconveniences that test your patience, while others are major struggles that demand your full attention, energy, and resilience. If you step into the day unprepared, you are left vulnerable, easily shaken, and quickly overwhelmed. But when you begin your day with spiritual preparation, through prayer, reflection, and devotion, you equip yourself with the strength, peace, and clarity you need to face whatever comes your way. Morning devotion is not a ritual of routine. It is a strategy for victory. The truth is, life will always bring battles. Stress at work, conflicts in relationships, financial struggles, health challenges, or the weight of responsibilities. These battles cannot always be predicted, but they are inevitable. The mistake many people make is waiting until the heat of the battle to seek strength. By then, emotions are high, pressure is heavy, and decisions are clouded. But starting the day with spiritual preparation changes everything. It's like putting on armor before stepping onto the battlefield. You may not know exactly what you'll face, but you know you are protected, guided, and ready. Morning devotion equips you with peace, and peace is one of the strongest weapons you can carry into the day. When your spirit is calm, you are not easily shaken by negativity or fear. Peace allows you to think clearly, to respond instead of react, and to keep your emotions under control, even when the situation around you is chaotic. Without peace, even small challenges feel overwhelming. With peace, even major struggles feel manageable, because you are grounded in something greater than your circumstances. Another way morning preparation strengthens you is by anchoring you in faith. Faith reminds you that you are not fighting alone, that your struggles are not meaningless, and that every challenge can be overcome. Faith provides perspective. It lifts your eyes above the immediate problem and shows you the bigger picture. Instead of being paralyzed by fear, you are energized by trust. You begin to face the day with the confidence that there is purpose even in difficulties, and that every battle is shaping you into someone stronger. Strength also comes from clarity. Morning devotion clears the clutter from your mind. It allows you to step into the day with focus, knowing what matters most. When challenges arise, clarity helps you make wise decisions rather than acting out of confusion or frustration. It saves you from being pulled in every direction and helps you preserve energy for what truly matters. Clarity is power because it ensures that your battles are fought with precision, not wasted on distractions. Daily spiritual preparation also builds resilience. Strength is not about avoiding difficulties, it is about standing firm in the middle of them. Each morning that you begin with devotion, you add another layer of resilience to your character. Over time, you notice that the same problems that once overwhelmed you no longer have the same power. You bounce back faster, endure longer, and carry yourself with confidence even under pressure. Resilience is built day by day in those quiet moments when you choose to prepare instead of rushing blindly into the noise of life. Another benefit is that morning preparation fills you with wisdom. In stillness, you receive insight and guidance that you would miss in the rush of the day. Wisdom gives you an advantage in your battles because it helps you discern which fights are worth your energy and which ones are distractions. Not every challenge requires the same response. Some require patience, some require courage, and others require letting go. Wisdom equips you to fight the right battles in the right way. Most importantly, morning devotion transforms your perspective on the battles themselves. Instead of seeing them as obstacles meant to break you, you begin to see them as opportunities to grow. This mindset shift is powerful because it removes the fear of difficulty. Battles no longer feel like punishments, but like training grounds for your strength, character, and faith. That shift alone empowers you to face the day with confidence. So if you want to be strong for the battles ahead, do not wait until they come. Begin each day with spiritual preparation. Take time in the morning to align your heart, renew your mind, and anchor your spirit. Fill yourself with peace, faith, clarity, resilience, and wisdom before the world has the chance to drain you. Because life will always bring challenges. But the difference between being defeated and being victorious often comes down to this simple choice. Did you prepare before the battle, or did you wait until it was too late? When you choose to prepare, you carry strength into every situation, and that strength will sustain you through whatever the day may bring. Clarity and guidance are two of the greatest gifts you can receive when you choose to begin your day with devotion. Life is filled with decisions, some small, some life-changing, and without direction, it is easy to drift, make mistakes, or waste precious time. Many people live on autopilot, reacting to circumstances instead of intentionally shaping their path. This often leads to confusion, frustration, and regret. But when you start your morning with prayer, reflection, and connection with God, you open yourself to wisdom that is beyond your own. You invite alignment that steadies your steps and gives purpose to your choices. Morning devotion is not only about peace, it is about perspective. It clears the fog and helps you see the road ahead with focus and confidence. Clarity is something every person longs for, yet so many begin their day clouded with noise. Emails, notifications, responsibilities, and deadlines immediately compete for attention. Without a moment of stillness, the mind becomes cluttered before the day even begins. Devotion provides that stillness. It is the pause where you filter out distractions and connect with what truly matters. In those quiet moments, your priorities become clear. You begin to see what needs to be done and what can wait, what deserves your energy, and what is only a distraction. That clarity saves you from scattering yourself thin across unimportant tasks and helps you invest in what aligns with your purpose. Morning devotion also brings guidance. Life does not come with a map, And often the most important decisions are not black and white. You may be faced with choices about career, relationships, finances, or personal growth that feel overwhelming. Relying on your own logic alone can lead to overthinking or second guessing. But starting the day in devotion opens you to divine direction. It is like tuning your heart to the right frequency so you can hear wisdom that cuts through the noise. Guidance does not always come as a loud answer. It often comes as a gentle nudge, a sense of peace about one option and unrest about another. Those inner signals are easier to recognize when you begin the day in reflection. Another benefit of clarity and guidance is confidence. When you know your steps are aligned with something greater than yourself, you walk differently. Doubt loses its grip because you are not making decisions blindly. You are walking with direction. That confidence fuels boldness. You take opportunities you might have avoided, and you let go of things you were never meant to carry. Clarity gives you the courage to say yes when it's time to move forward, and the wisdom to say no when something does not align with your purpose. Morning devotion also prevents you from being ruled by emotions. Without clarity, it is easy to make decisions in moments of stress, anger, or fear, only to regret them later. But devotion centers you. It calms your spirit and clears your thoughts, allowing you to respond instead of react. When you start with alignment, you carry stability into every situation. Even when unexpected challenges arise, you are less likely to be swayed by panic because you already grounded yourself in truth at the beginning of the day. Another aspect of guidance is protection. Not every opportunity is good, and not every path leads to peace. Morning devotion helps you discern the difference. What may look attractive on the surface can sometimes lead to regret, but direction from God shields you from those mistakes. It is like having a compass that warns you when you are about to step into danger and points you toward a safer, better path. That protection is a form of grace that you access when you choose to begin your day with devotion. Over time, this daily practice of seeking clarity and guidance reshapes your life. The small decisions you make each day build into the larger story of your future. By starting each day in alignment, you gradually craft a life that reflects purpose instead of confusion, wisdom instead of chaos, and direction instead of wandering. You waste less time, you experience fewer regrets, and you walk with peace knowing that your path is guided. So when you wake each morning, do not rush immediately into the noise of the world. Pause, seek clarity, invite guidance. Allow your spirit to align with wisdom greater than your own, because the choices you make today will shape your tomorrow, and the best way to make those choices is to start with direction. Morning devotion does more than give you peace. It gives you the clarity to see the way forward and the guidance to walk in it with confidence. And when you begin every day with that alignment, your life will not drift aimlessly. It will move with purpose toward the destiny you were created to fulfill. Building spiritual discipline is one of the most powerful outcomes of practicing morning devotion. And it is the key that transforms fleeting inspiration into lasting transformation. Many people desire growth, peace, and deeper faith, but without discipline, those desires remain only dreams. Discipline is what bridges the gap between what you want and what you become. And when you choose to consistently begin your mornings in devotion, you are not only seeking peace for the day, you are training your spirit, shaping your character, and building an unshakable foundation that can withstand life's storms. Discipline is not always exciting. In fact, it often feels ordinary. There will be mornings when you wake up tired, busy, or distracted, and you won't feel like praying, reflecting, or spending time in silence. But discipline is about doing what is right, not just what feels convenient. It is about choosing consistency over emotion, commitment over comfort. Each time you show up anyway, you are strengthening your spirit. Over time, those small, repeated acts of devotion create momentum that shapes your entire life. Morning devotion is especially powerful for building discipline because it is anchored at the very start of your day. When you give your first moments to God, you are declaring that He is the priority, not an afterthought. That choice reorders your life. It trains your mind to focus before distractions take hold. It sets a rhythm that influences the rest of your habits. The discipline you cultivate in the morning spills into the rest of your day, helping you make wiser decisions, manage your time better, and carry yourself with focus and strength. Another reason consistency matters is because faith, like a muscle, grows stronger through repetition. You cannot build physical strength by going to the gym once a month, and you cannot build spiritual strength through occasional devotion. It is the daily practice, the consistent showing up, that deepens your faith. Each time you pray, reflect, or seek guidance in the morning, you are adding another layer of strength to your foundation. Slowly but surely, your faith becomes unshakable, not because life becomes easy, but because you have trained yourself to rely on God daily. Discipline also builds character. It teaches patience, persistence, and humility. When you keep showing up in devotion, even when you don't feel immediate results, you are learning to trust the process. You are learning to value faithfulness over quick fixes, and that shapes your heart in powerful ways. Character is not formed in moments of ease, but in moments of perseverance. Morning devotion becomes the training ground where you develop integrity, self-control, and endurance. These qualities extend beyond your spiritual life. They shape the way you work, the way you lead, and the way you love others. Consistency in morning devotion also helps you resist distractions. In a world filled with noise and endless demands, it is easy to drift from what matters most. But when you discipline yourself to begin each day in focus and alignment, you are less likely to be pulled off course. You train your spirit to recognize distractions for what they are and to stay committed to your values and purpose. That kind of discipline creates stability in a world that constantly tries to shake you. Another gift of discipline is transformation over time. The changes may feel small at first: more peace, a little more clarity, a stronger sense of focus. But over months and years, the results compound. You look back and realize you are no longer the same person you used to be. You are stronger, wiser, and more grounded because you chose consistency. This transformation is not about one dramatic moment, but about the daily, faithful choice to begin each morning with devotion. Building spiritual discipline also gives you resilience during hardship. When life brings storms, you will not crumble because you have trained yourself to stand. The strength you built in the quiet of the morning will carry you through the chaos of the day. Others may fall apart under pressure, but you remain steady because your faith and character are rooted in daily discipline. That steadiness becomes not only a blessing for you, but also a source of encouragement for those around you. Spiritual discipline is not about perfection. It is about persistence. It is about showing up again and again until devotion becomes not just a habit, but a lifestyle. And when it does, your faith becomes unshakable, your character becomes stronger, and your life becomes a testimony of what consistency can create. Morning devotion is more than a ritual. It is a foundation. And when you choose to build on that foundation every day, you will find that nothing in this world can shake the faith and character you have built through discipline. Transformation over time is the hidden reward of morning devotion. At first, it may feel like a simple routine, something you do out of discipline or desire to feel a little more grounded. You wake up, pray, reflect, and begin your day with intention. It seems small, almost ordinary. But over weeks, months, and years, that ordinary routine begins to reshape your entire life. What starts as a few minutes of devotion becomes a lifestyle that changes how you think, how you act, and how you see the world. The power of transformation lies not in a single act, but in consistent, repeated choices that mold you into a stronger, wiser, and more grounded version of yourself. In the beginning, the effects of morning devotion may feel subtle. You might notice a little more peace in the morning, a calmer response to stress, or clearer thoughts as you go about your day. These small shifts are easy to overlook, but they are signs of something deeper happening within you. Like seeds planted in the soil, devotion grows slowly and silently. You do not see the roots spreading beneath the ground, but over time, they create a foundation strong enough to support growth that everyone can see. As the practice continues, you begin to notice changes in your mindset. Negativity that once overwhelmed you loses its grip. Fear that once held you back begins to fade as faith and trust take its place. Instead of waking up consumed by stress or rushing into the day, you start with calm, gratitude, and clarity. That mindset doesn't just affect your mornings. It influences every decision you make. You stop reacting out of panic and start responding with wisdom. You begin to live with intention rather than simply drifting through life. Transformation over time also strengthens your character. Devotion teaches you patience because growth does not happen instantly. It teaches you humility because you realize you need daily connection with God to stay aligned. It teaches you perseverance because there are days when you will not feel motivated, yet you choose to show up anyway. These qualities, patience, humility, perseverance, are the building blocks of strong character. As your character grows, so does your ability to handle challenges with grace and to live with integrity, even when no one is watching. And another way this transformation shows up is in your relationships. The peace and clarity you receive in devotion spill over into how you interact with others. You become more patient, more compassionate, and less reactive. Conflicts no longer consume you, and you begin to bring calm into tense situations. People notice the difference, even if you don't announce it. The strength you build in private becomes visible in public, and it reshapes how others experience you. Over time, devotion also gives you resilience. Life will not stop bringing difficulties, but your ability to endure them changes. What once felt unbearable becomes manageable, not because the challenges are smaller, but because you are stronger. Daily devotion trains you to release your burdens, seek wisdom, and find strength beyond yourself. This resilience becomes a constant anchor that steadies you no matter what storms come. Eventually, what began as a discipline becomes a way of life. You no longer see devotion as an option or an extra. It becomes part of who you are. You wake up seeking peace because your spirit has been trained to crave it. You handle challenges with wisdom because you have built clarity into your daily rhythm. You live with faith because it has been strengthened day after day through consistent practice. Transformation becomes visible not just to you, but to everyone around you. The most powerful part of transformation over time is that it never stops. As long as you remain consistent, you keep growing. Each day builds on the one before, and the process continues to shape you into a person of depth, wisdom, and strength. This is the reward of persistence, the gradual, undeniable reshaping of your life from the inside out. So do not underestimate the power of a daily routine. What feels simple today may be the very thing that changes your entire future. Morning devotion is not just about starting the day well. It is about reshaping the way you live, the way you think, and the person you become. Over time, the routine becomes a lifestyle, and the lifestyle becomes transformation. And that transformation is the true evidence that your daily devotion has turned into a life of unshakable faith, lasting character, and peace that nothing can take away. Every day begins with a choice. You can wake up rushing into the noise of the world, carrying yesterday's stress into today, or you can pause, surrender, and align your heart with the one who gives peace. Morning devotion may seem simple, but it is the foundation that shapes everything else. It renews your mind, equips you with strength for battles, provides clarity for decisions, builds discipline that anchors your faith, and over time transforms your entire life. What begins as minutes of prayer and reflection becomes a lifestyle that steadies your spirit through storms and guides your steps with wisdom. The peace you find in the morning follows you through the day. The strength you receive in devotion carries you through the battles you face, and the discipline you practice each sunrise builds a character that nothing can shake. So do not underestimate the power of beginning your day with God. Let every morning be your moment of alignment, your place of renewal, your source of strength. Because when your mornings are surrendered, your days are transformed. And when your days are transformed, your life itself becomes the testimony of faith, peace, and purpose.